Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new Ludicrous Model 3 spec leaks from Tesla, the new Model Y coming soon, Tesla Semi updates and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Cherry Industrial for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, some updates from Tesla's Semi program. The Semi was announced a long time ago, and Tesla finally began actual deliveries last year. With that said, it has ramped extremely slowly, and left some wondering if it will ever actually expand. It very much is in Tesla's plans, as they plan to expand production at Giga Nevada and bring this to Giga Berlin in the future. As far as we've known, Tesla is using them and Pepsi, but we just learned that Martin Brower, a large logistics company, piloted 2 Tesla Semis last year. They said, quote, "A group of 5 MB drivers were trained to operate the Tesla Semi, which uniquely positions the steering wheel and driver's seat in the center of the cockpit, and has other design features to increase driver visibility and safety. Overall, our drivers had positive feedback on how the vehicle performs." They all seemed to have very impressive feedback. One driver said, quote, "The Tesla Semi rises above any other tractor with mobility, center seat configuration, and precise movement that allows the driver to navigate safely." MB's assistant transportation manager also said, "The Tesla Semi experience has been impressive since day one. Our drivers had no problem learning the systems and maximizing the features that set these tractors apart. We've been able to push these tractors well beyond expectations and look forward to our electric future." Dan Priestley, the Semi's lead engineer, detailed how these demos give them great feedback to continue refining the Semi. So this particular slow scaling process seems to be extremely purposeful on Tesla's part. Yes, they like getting products out, but they truly want this to be the best possible truck it can be before they truly scale it. They somewhat did the same with the Cybertruck. People can criticize its looks all they want, but when tearing it down, Sandy Munro specifically detailed just how good the engineering is in that truck, and why Tesla probably took as long as they did bringing it out. The same appears to be true with the Semi, and each customer they work with is really enjoying it while providing feedback. Ultimately, the Semi uses a battery pack the size of almost 11 Model Y packs, so they definitely want to get it right before shipping that much battery capacity. As far as Tesla's usage goes, we know they internally use the Semi to deliver battery packs between factories, but a cool video was taken of the Semi loaded up with new Model 3s. As this program expands more and production continues ramping, we'll continue seeing Tesla delivering their electric cars with their own electric trucks, and that will be great to see. Next up today, the latest for the Model Y in the US. First, prices have gone up. While they appear to be the same as before on Tesla's site, in reality, Tesla was rolling with a number of inventory discounts that were getting pretty enticing. Now, all of these inventory discounts have disappeared. So in practice, most customers are finding the Model Y anywhere from $3,600 to $5,300 more expensive compared to just over a week ago. When I check on the inventory site, I still see some small discounts for demo vehicles, but that is all. The Tesla site also no longer drives me directly to the inventory site. Instead, it takes me to the order page, where the rear-wheel drive now comes in at $44,990. Long range is $49,990, and performance is $53,490. For now, that's the pricing, but we could see Tesla change up how they do things a bit here. In regards to why these discounts were dropped, Elon said, quote, "We are simplifying and streamlining the whole Tesla sales and delivery system. It has become complex and inefficient." I will agree that it was starting to get a bit more like a dealership where pricing differed depending on where you looked or how you ordered, so that change could be a welcomed one for many. With that said, the big thing likely holding the Model Y back right now is the Osborne effect. The Osborne effect is when customers delay ordering a product because the company has announced a future version before it's available. Now, Tesla hasn't announced a new Model Y at all, but with the re-engineered Model 3, it's pretty clear that a new one is coming. The Model 3 brings a ton of great noticeable changes, and if we look back on the Model Y's original release, the interior was simply a copy of the Model 3. So it's only a matter of time, but Tesla is pretty slow to do factory changeovers. They are complicated, interrupt production, and the Model Y appears to be selling well regardless, but at some point people are going to be waiting for the Juniper refresh that keeps being reported on. For the Model Y in China even, Tesla ships a few different things like standard black wheel covers, a fabric dash cover instead of wood, and a customizable LED bar along the dash. However, it seems like coming up, Tesla is somewhat relying on new paint colors to hopefully shake things up a bit for customers. Recently, they switched their red color to ultra red and their gray to stealth gray, but soon an entirely new color is coming to the US. They have yet to announce anything here, which is surprising, because production of the Quicksilver Model Y is pumping out of Giga Texas. The Quicksilver Model Y was first introduced out of Giga Berlin, later came to Giga Shanghai, and now is being produced in numbers at Giga Texas. This color is more impressive than Ultra Red and Stealth Gray to many customers because it's extremely noticeable right off the bat. Seeing it in person is very cool as well, and the US has yet to see it. At Giga Texas, Tesla is pumping out the Cybertruck, and in these particular photos, there were 87 Model Ys spotted in this new color. If it were just a couple, we wouldn't expect that Tesla would even necessarily be ready to introduce this, but with a number that large, these are clearly meant for customer deliveries shortly. That will be an exciting change to see, but still, for many customers who want the new Juniper Model Y and are willing to wait, Quicksilver likely won't convince them. They can simply wait and get a much improved Model Y in Quicksilver, hopefully by early next year. Even with that though, Tesla is running into the problem of customers not really being enticed to upgrade. With none of the fundamentals of charging speed, range, and more changing with the Model 3 and Y, changes are still somewhat cosmetic. I noticed drastically improved road noise, cabin isolation, and ride quality in the new Model 3, but last year's Model 3 still drives just as far and charges just as fast. As Tesla continues ramping and expanding, they could soon find that a Juniper refresh is really great, but customers really want more range and faster charging, even if the data shows that they don't actually need it. We'll have to see what the future holds there, but another thing locking Tesla customers in is that FSD is not permanently transferable. Every once in a while, they let customers transfer it as an incentive, but this should be an option that is always in place. When you buy apps on your phone and decide to upgrade phones, it would be pretty insane to lose those when you upgrade phones. In fact, it would hold you back. Here, you lose FSD, and if you want it again on your new car, the price has likely gone up. Especially considering that FSD still has yet to deliver on its promises, I think Tesla should change this, but we'll have to see. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Cherry Industrial, the makers of Test Fridge. This portable fridge/freezer is specially designed for the Tesla Model Y, models 2021 and newer. It's super easy to install and completely portable. You just drop it into the Model Y's understorage compartment in the rear and pull it back out when you want to move it. At under 30 pounds, most people can carry it pretty easily as well. It's ideal for road trips, camping, or everyday use. I appreciate that I can go grocery shopping and not have to go directly home afterwards. The Test Fridge will keep my cold food as cold as I need it. With Cherry Industrial's portable 193 watt-hour battery, the Test Fridge can also be used anywhere for up to 10 hours. At 45 decibels, it's also super quiet, just a little louder than a whisper. It doesn't compromise on capacity or capability either. Its 35-quart storage can easily cool your food from 50 degrees Fahrenheit down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit in just 30 minutes. On top of that, its insulation is 50% thicker than typical consumer-grade fridges, guaranteeing superior temperature retention and efficiency. You can control all the features of the Test Fridge both on the LCD display or through the app. In-app, you can toggle the temperature between -4 and 50 degrees, change the running mode between Max and Eco, and switch the battery mode. On the LCD display, there are easy-to-read buttons to control setup, power, and temperature controls as well. Then, when you open the fridge, there's a built-in LED light, and the handle is flat for a sleek design that sits perfectly level with the rest of your sub-trunk. To check out the Test Fridge for yourself, click the link in the description below. The Model Y is still dominating. It's just the domination growth that many are worried about continuing. After all, this car is largely unchanged since its launch 4 years ago, which is quite different than how most automakers operate. Still, in Q1 of this year, the Model Y accounted for 35.4% of the entire US EV market, absolutely in first place. But that is down 1.4% year over year. The Model 3 was in second place with 11.3%, and then the Ford Mustang Mach E was in third with a 3.5% share. Worth noting that the especially low number for the Model 3 relates to the refresh happening in January and production ramping back up from 0. Soon, we should see a few small improvements to the Model Y, new colors, and then hopefully a full refresh to put it in line with the new Model 3. Next up today, the latest for Tesla's upcoming Ludicrous Model 3, which we just got more info on. We've seen plenty of prototypes and leaks of Tesla's upcoming performance trim for the refreshed Model 3, and it has confirmed a lot of things. Now, however, we've seen Tesla accidentally leak specs for this car and move beyond prototypes. As far as specs for the Model 3 Ludicrous, we know it will bring an altered front bumper, altered rear, new forged wheels, a larger spoiler than before, sport seats, carbon fiber accents in the interior, and more. But Tesla's official website leaked all of these details. All new adaptive damping, powered by in-house software, gives you enhanced body control without sacrificing daily usability or comfort. The latest generation driving mode integrates adaptive suspension controls with a performance-optimized powertrain to deliver more response and fun behind the wheel. Track Mode V3 features all new calibration for the powertrain and adaptive suspension to give you more authority behind the wheel. You can customize handling balance, stability controls, and regenerative braking to set the car up how you like it. All new seat design with enhanced side and cushion bolsters hold you in place while ventilation keeps you cool. Bespoke chassis and suspension hardware is tuned to provide intuitive, razor-sharp response to driver input. And forged performance wheels, lightweight, staggered wheels provide sharper turn-in response, improved predictability, increased traction out of corners, and optimized aerodynamics. Enhanced pedal feel and improved heat management ensure consistent braking at all speeds and across a wider temperature range. The lightweight carbon fiber decor and refined weave pattern is unique to Model 3 performance. The website's source code also briefly mentioned that it has over 500 horsepower, and that it is the most powerful Model 3 ever. We're still not sure if Tesla plans to release this out of both Model 3 factories simultaneously or not, but 37 of them were spotted at Giga Shanghai. We can tell because of the red brake calipers, the wheels, and the spoiler. So similar to the Quicksilver Model Y here, Tesla is very much getting ready to reveal and release this car. They wouldn't have 37 of them covered in an outbound lot if it wasn't soon to be released. Currently, timelines are rumored to be an April 20th release when this video is going up, and deliveries in May. That said, Tesla is known to change plans or announce things at the drop of a hat, so we could see something else happen. Either way, it's coming extremely soon, and it should be a very exciting improvement over previous performance Model 3s. With all of these upgrades, though, I do imagine we'll see a steeper price upgrade to go from long range to performance than before. On top of that, it'll be interesting to see if this model qualifies for the tax credit due to its battery sourcing, whereas other Model 3s don't. That is somewhat expected if they keep them all the same packs-wise, which may create even more demand for this trim in particular. Next up today, batteries continue to be the most important piece of EV manufacturing, expansion, and price cutting, but things tend to move slowly in that space. Many companies can announce a great car, but they tend to be reliant on third parties to deliver the battery cells for their product. At the same time, we see the current situation where China is dominating EV battery production. But the US EV federal tax credit is specifically designed to bring battery production to the US to create jobs and self-reliance for the future of transportation. With that said, it's a process. Automakers themselves are getting into battery manufacturing and scaling, but arguably the more exciting announcements are when we hear of established battery manufacturers expanding into new facilities in the US. CATL is expected to bring manufacturing facilities to the US in some way, but one of Tesla's main suppliers is LG Energy Solutions, and they have just given us a big update on the progress of their upcoming US battery manufacturing facility. In a recent shareholder meeting, the Korean company announced that construction of this $5.5 billion battery manufacturing complex is well underway and will be completed in about 2 years' time. The Arizona-based factories will begin hiring later this year. Arizona's governor said, quote, "This transformative investment will have a lasting impact not only in Arizona, but across the country, and moves us one step closer toward our clean energy goals. These are the jobs of the future, and the state of Arizona is committed to being an active partner in ensuring Arizonans have the skills to fill these jobs." LG Energy Solutions is working on 2 factories in Arizona at the moment. The first is being geared up to make 46 series battery cells. These will likely be 4680 cells, currently featured exclusively in the Cybertruck, but likely to return to the Model Y and then come to the Model 3 and whatever Tesla's next generation vehicle ends up being, robotaxi or not. Especially once LG adds manufacturing capacity here, we'll likely see Tesla expand these to many different cars. The company is currently planning to begin production of those cells in Korea later this year, with the Arizona factory eventually joining to bolster supply. The second facility will focus on the production of LFP batteries centered on their own energy storage products. When this factory begins operation in just a few years, it could do a lot to secure the tax credit status of a lot of Tesla vehicles and other vehicles. Cheaper domestic battery production would do a lot to cut costs on these vehicles and maybe even pass those savings down to the customers in the form of cheaper EVs. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Ford has just shown off the newest version of the Mustang Mach E, and it brings some pretty substantial new improvements to that vehicle across the board. Every trim of this vehicle will be seeing a decent boost of its range and charge times. The standard and extended range variants will both be seeing 20-mile range improvements, bringing their total estimates to 250 and 320 miles respectively. The GT trim will be seeing a more modest boost of 10 miles, now hitting a respectable 280 miles on a charge. Charge times have been greatly improved as well, with DC fast charging offering 20% speed improvements over the previous versions. The long-range version will be able to charge from 10 to 80% in about 36 minutes, an almost 9-minute improvement. Beyond that, Ford has gotten rid of their GT Performance package and replaced it with an even better option. Customers who order the standard GT trim can opt for a special performance upgrade that will add 100 pound-feet of torque. This will allow the car to reach 0 to 60 in just 3.3 seconds. Since the performance trim has been phased out, some of its features have been made standard on the GT trim. Those include sportier seats, new front brake calipers, and specially made dampers. This performance package will come standard on the latest entry to the Mustang Mach E lineup, the new Rally version. This new version is, quote, raised 1 inch higher than GT, tuned for both on-road and off-road, with Rally-inspired appearance wheels, tires, spoilers, and stripe package. This new version offers some solid improvements, and Ford is offering a cheeky bonus for any Tesla owners who may be looking to get in one of these. If you or someone in your family owns a Tesla, then Ford is offering some pretty hefty incentives to lease a new Mach E. You can get $1,500 in what they call, quote, Tesla Competitive Conquest Bonus Cash towards any trim of this vehicle, and it doesn't require a trade-in. Ford is also offering a $7,500 discount on eligible 2023 Mach E leases. That means you may be able to get a hold of a 2023 Mach E lease for $10,000 off of MSRP. Ford's other electric option, the F-150 Lightning, is seeing a big course correction as they begin big price cuts on that vehicle. The standard range variant will be knocking $2,000 off the MSRP, bringing the price to $65,090 with the mandatory destination charge. The Lariat extended range is getting a $2,500 price discount, bringing that price down to $79,090. The Flash extended range option, which sits between the standard and Lariat trim, will be getting the biggest discount of $5,500, bringing the price down to $70,090. It seemed like Ford was backing down from its EV ambitions for a while, but between these great changes, price cuts, and their upcoming affordable EV project, it's great to see them reaffirming their commitment to electrification. Over at Rivian, they just announced that they are cutting more jobs to improve profitability. This is their second round of layoffs this year, and this time it's a 1% cut. They said, quote, this was a difficult decision, but a necessary one to support our goal to be gross margin positive by the end of the year. Always disappointing to see layoffs, but Rivian does have a lot of work to do in order to survive as an automaker long into the future. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see more details on Tesla's robotaxi and more, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.